Comme ça, freestyle? C'est parti. Alors,
I didn't think we would be a company of 400 people that tomorrow will be even bigger.
It should be noted that a person who uses Partoo will make money. I think we are more inventive and resourceful when we are under pressure.
Upon arriving, I thought to myself, where are you stepping into? It's quite strange to join a company that operates in a building lobby, and here I am, 10 years later.
It's not always about the destination. The journey matters too.
And now that we have an excellent product and have maintained this customer service DNA, that is what has allowed us to become a leader in France and in many other countries around the world.
I don't know if it should be shared, but it's a real thing. It all started here, in this restaurant. Serge, the owner, had asked me to update the photographs of his business on all the sites used by his customers to find him. I agreed to help him, but I faced two difficulties. The first was identifying the platforms used by internet users to search for restaurants. At that time, it is important to know that Google listings did not exist, and the key sites were TripAdvisor, Juste à Côté, Foursquare, Dis-moi où, 118,000, etc. The second difficulty I had was updating the information. In fact, on some platforms it was complicated, and on others it was just impossible. To put it simply, I spent 5 hours updating Serge's photos on 6 sites. So, I think we can say that it wasn't very efficient. And so, upon leaving his restaurant, I thought that there were certainly tens of thousands of businesses that must have the same problem as Serge, namely, wanting to update information about their activities, such as opening hours, photographs, news, and promotions. And it was at that moment that I decided to create Partoo, a platform where businesses with points of sale could provide information about their activities so that it would be automatically synchronized across all the sites, applications, search engines, and GPS systems that consumers use to find them.
From the beginning, the Partoo application has been designed with the end user in mind, to provide businesses with a simple tool that meets concrete needs while saving time. The first building block of our product was presence management, centralizing all the important information of a business in one place and synchronizing it with all the relevant platforms. It took us several months, but after a few sleepless nights, Partoo was born.
Entering the MarTech market in 2014-2015 was quite a challenge. It was necessary to highlight the advantages of a tool like Partoo to manage something that was certainly tedious, but above all, free. From the very beginning, we focused on our vision of a central solution that would help businesses spend less time on manual management and concentrate more on value-added tasks. It is this ROI-focused approach that convinced our first clients and made them our first ambassadors. Each new client was a win for us, and that is what allowed us to grow so quickly.
It is by listening to our clients that we have managed to evolve quickly Partoo on products that are highly anticipated by businesses. At the time, we had a client who was the Boulanger brand, was one of our historical clients in presence management. And of course, we created profiles for him on Google and other platforms. After a while, he said, "Thank you for creating the profiles, but now I'm starting to receive reviews on these profiles. So, you also need to help me manage the reviews I receive." Indeed, we exchanged a lot with our contact at the time, who was named Mathieu, with whom we had several meetings and with whom we developed this product. We created mock-ups that we proposed to him, ultimately leading to the launch of the review management solution that now equips a large part of our clients.
The international launch, starting with Spain and then Italy, was a crucial step in the development of Partoo. We first had to recruit people for those markets, and then we had to evolve our product to meet the demand. And that was a crucial step, because it was really the beginning of scaling at Partoo.
The topic of scale came up quite early in the history of Partoo, mainly to respond to the growth of our number of clients. In fact, our market really took off in 2008, and we seized that opportunity to enter a phase of hyper-growth. Our scaling strategy has also taken on an international dimension with the opening of Spain in 2017, followed by Italy, Mexico, and the Middle East. The reality is that the problems our product addresses are not solely French, they are international.
Our first explorations were in Spain and Italy, neighboring countries that we knew well. This has allowed us to get a foothold and to consider growth in a different way. This experience has given us confidence in exploring Latin America and the Middle East.
When people talk about scaling, they think about processes, ways of doing things, and structuring. For me, what stands out in the story of scaling is that it is primarily a story about people. People who evolve, people who grow, and people who collaborate. And the hardest thing, I think, in scaling is the human aspect. That is to say, ensuring that everyone works together and that the culture remains. So I think that when people say they are going to scale, they imagine putting processes in place, whereas in fact, when we say we are going to scale, it is more about getting people to work together in good harmony, and that is something that is very difficult. When we achieve this over a long period, it is quite pleasant.
This international openness has not prevented us at the same time to rapidly develop our main market, France. We had decided to centralize the majority of our teams in Paris, but also to have a local hub in Barcelona for Southern Europe. This has allowed us to ensure the cohesion of our teams, as well as the sharing of our values, and to maintain a true strategic alignment regardless of the markets in which we operate.
Recruited mainly for the offices in France did not prevent us from building a multicultural and multilingual team. In 2024, our teams speak 8 languages and come from all corners of the globe. We are very proud to thrive in such a rich environment that allows us to grow both personally and professionally.
And thanks to this growth, we were able to surpass the symbolic milestone of 30 million euros in revenue just before celebrating our 10th anniversary. To project ourselves into the next 10 years, we launched a new strategic plan, which we called the Hyperion plan.
At the beginning, Partoo was a software whose main objective was to improve the visibility of our clients' retail points. But in fact, for the past 3 years, we have been an all-in-one solution that allows them to adapt to the changes in digital shopping journeys.
Internet users are no longer looking for links to find answers to their questions. They want that answer directly and instantly.
Typically, in 2020, it was observed that in many countries around the world, internet users tended to write more to businesses rather than calling them. This was particularly the case in India, South America, and China. And then we realized that this would completely change the way consumers interact with businesses, and that we needed to create a product to help our clients adapt to this. And that's when we decided to launch the product message, whose main objective was to centralize the conversations that our clients receive on various platforms such as WhatsApp, Instagram, Messenger, and the chat on their website. This launch was very successful, but we quickly faced a problem. Although our clients received a lot of conversations and an increasing volume, and that these were essentially purchase intentions in nearly 70% of cases, the average response time was actually 9 hours. So it was far too long, because when you want to buy something, having to wait 9 hours for a response is not satisfactory.
Having seen this shift coming, we prepared for it well in advance. That is why we introduced Jim, our first AI-based conversational assistant, last February.
Our AI allows our clients to automatically handle 70% of the conversations received, regardless of the platforms they come from, at any time of day or night, and in almost all languages.
For Partoo, becoming an all-in-one platform for businesses of all sizes has become a crucial challenge.
That is why we launched the Hyperion plan, referencing a tree that bears the same name and rises to 116 meters. It is the tallest tree in the world, in fact. For us, this name is a parable that symbolizes sustainable growth, but also leadership. This plan is particularly based on strengthening our investments in artificial intelligence to enable our clients, who do not have the time to use Partoo even more effectively, whether to manage their reviews or to better convert purchase intentions.
Our goal in the coming years is to expand our addressable market by ensuring sustainable growth while maintaining a strong corporate culture and a united team.
This plan embodies the courage, innovation, and determination necessary for Partoo to become a leader in its industry, and we hope that many of you will join us on this adventure.
Partoo is a website where merchants can provide information about their business by listing their hours, photos, logos, and addresses. And when they register, this information is automatically distributed across more than 20 sites with which we have partnerships, which are ultimately the main players in the industry. And so the idea of Partoo is to enable merchants to gain time, visibility, and of course, customers.
I have always believed, but I have never felt this confident for leadership in the markets for firms in France, in Spain, in Italy, in LATAM, and in the Middle East. And the fact that we are in this situation today is not completely a coincidence, because in reality, when we think about Partoo, it's a lot of talent. It is a product that is truly exceptional, which is much better than that of the competition in certain aspects. An excellent customer service, a major advantage in the market, and an excellent reputation. And I think we can be very, very proud of this collective achievement, which is frankly extraordinary, I think, and gives Partoo a bright future, a beautiful future.